All right, welcome to episode 10 of Coach's Point of View. Today's going to be a great show. I'm your co-host, Shamari Reed, along with our gracious host, Tony Murphy. And we got two great guests today. We got Gerald Flat Top Robinson, and we got Donnell DJ Pauldo. Today we're going to talk about player development, the greatest in the city, and the road to get to college. But I want to properly introduce my guests. So today, DJ I call him DJ, but Donnell DJ Pauldo, after spending 25 years as a dedicated Paterson public school educator, DJ took his passion for teaching straight to the hardwood. As a former college player turned elite player developer, he is a mastermind behind the world-famous twin backcourt, training his daughters, Nia and Maya Pauldo, into five-star recruits, historical Puma NIL signees, and national standouts. Today, through DJ's training and skill development and his role in College Basketball Parent Association, he helps players and families navigate recruiting NIL opportunities in the path to college basketball. And joining him is Gerald Flat Top Robinson. This is my big brother, of course. He's a legendary Clifton High School standout whose name still resonates through North Jersey basketball circles today. He's known for his explosive game and his signature style. Gerald has transitioned from a standout player to a respected mentor, helping develop elite young talent on the AAU circuit along his good friend, Coach D Star. Welcome to the show, Flat Top and DJ Paul.
Thank you.
That's the coach's point of view. 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 That's the coach's point of view.
That was pretty good, but I might want to steal that because I had nothing to do with that. He wrote that was pretty good. I might have to steal that, add that to my deck.
Yeah. So I try to make sure that I properly do my research on my guests for taking time to be here with me, and we like to give our flowers. Their flowers to make sure that you guys understand, how we recognize you. Because a lot of times, you guys are in the moment, and I know you fellas. I don't know y'all to be braggadocious. I just see y'all guys just living y'all regular life, but y'all need to hear that. Y'all need to hear how the world, how the city see you guys, and you guys are doing amazing things. I always looked up to you guys from when I was younger up until now, up until my big age now, right? So let's get into it, and thank you guys for joining the show today.
No doubt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, what makes Paterson basketball unique? What would you say?
I think that's a good question. It varies. I think the answer from what we've grown up with, I think what made Paterson's basketball unique is the fact that we all kind of watched and grew under each other and kind of watch each other do what they do. Whether you silently were inspired or admired the person, you always knew. I think you always knew. So I think that's a kind of a difference between now because of the landscape and just the changes in the high school demographic in Paterson, right? It's different than where we're growing up. So I definitely say that's the uniqueness, right? Everyone kind of knew each other, kind of lived up to each other, and kind of wanted to go at each other as well,
And kind of let me piggyback on what DJ said. The uniqueness is City League. That's where it started.
That's where it starts.
City League.
Yes.
Very competitive. You go to school, you go to this school, you go to school 20, you go to school 30, school 4, school 28, and everybody like, yeah, you couldn't wait until Saturday. You couldn't wait until Tuesday or Thursday to come play just so we can go at each other. So it's all about repping.
Right.
Where you live,
Yeah.
neighborhoods. Most of the kids that grew up together play together.
Right.
So when you go across town, it's like, we're the better basketball players. So, City League did it all.
And that's a great point because that actually is a way better answer than mine was. And because that's something that sustained time. I think even since we were little to now, yes, it's changed a little bit, but people want to play City League, right? City League is still a big thing, and it's still rare because a lot of towns don't have that.
Right.
So that's why I say that's part of the uniqueness when it comes to that. Yeah, it's changed, but it's still there, son.
Yep.
7th grade, real fast.
Yeah.
We played against each other.
Right. What teams y'all play for?
Heldon.
But that was traveling.
Yeah, that was traveling
stuff.
teams.
It wasn't city league.
And it wasn't city league. It was traveling teams. But you had a couple kids
Yeah.
from the town.
Somewhat like now, you know, the other towns kind of
Yeah.
picking from the inner cities, grabbing shit, you know
grab
what I
you when
mean?
you play.
So,
That was our first time even interacting with one another. 7th grade.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think for me, what made Paterson basketball different is so when I was growing up, I played in 2 leagues. I played in this league called CYO, and then I played in the City League. In CYO, oh man, I'm probably gonna get crucified for saying this. In CYO, I was a killer because the competition wasn't as great. I'm sorry, CYO. I love y'all. I had my shine in CYO, so you know I'm not down in CYO. But when I went to City League, I was among the average. Like everybody was a killer. At least on my team. I played for McDonald's, by the way. So you know, on my team, like everybody was a killer. And to be honest with you, every team. I mean, it might have been like 1 or 2 people that couldn't play, but everybody was killers. And these were the people that, you know, we did this in the City League. We did this at Montgomery Park. We did this at the Towers Court. Like, it was like the same game over and over and over and over and over. And I think that what made Paterson basketball a little unique is because we're a bigger city. Unlike other cities where it's kind of like a smaller, everybody kind of play together. So all the all-stars was on one team. Nah, it's like 50 all-stars. So coming up then, you just was like, yo, if I'm not gonna go hard, like I might as well not step on the court. That's what made it different to me. What about you?
It was just the competitiveness of it.
Yeah.
It was just, especially when I was coming up, it was just super, super competitive. Like we were playing against, so Impact, we played everybody and we played everywhere, right? So you had a team like the Knights, right?
Oh,
Shout out to
the Knights. Shout out to the Knights.
They played at School 28. All their games was at School 28, right? We played Craft.
Yep.
Craft. All their games was at School 30.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when we play some of these teams, it was like home games for them. So gyms is packed. Everybody from that side of the town is in this gym. They go over there. So it was just like how competitive City League was. Like it really helped me just become a better basketball player just in general. Like it's just certain moments with basketball. Like a moment that I can remember, I was 11, 12 years old, School 30, gym is packed. I'm at the free throw line, and if I miss these 2 free throws, we lose the game. So you got people screaming, and I'm 11, 12 years old at this time, but you got people screaming, saying whatever so I can miss these free throws.
Right.
So it's just moments like that just always carry with me. So I was always ready, just as I got older because of that Paterson basketball set.
interesting. See, when I played CYO, it was all at School 30.
Oh, really?
Everything was at School 30.
Oh, I was at St. Gerard.
Everything was up. And Pee Wee was actually at Eastside, and you played sideways at Eastside High School. And so everything was at School 30. And, you know what it was. You went and played, and you went to Teddy's. You came back, you chaired.
Hot dogs, shout out to Teddy's.
You had to do that, you know what I mean? And that was it. Thursdays, that was it. You had your Walkman, you know what I mean? Whatever you recorded on 98.7 the night before on the radio when you were hit by, because I was the only station that played it, and you were going to listen to it that night. So, yeah, I'm old, dog. Right? Like, I'm old.
So I want to ask you, I want to start from the beginning. We're going to start with you.
All right.
You're a beginner. You start in basketball. Where do you start? Who started you with it? Who brought you up into it? Give us a little history on it.
All right, so for me, where I started at was Trenton, New Jersey. Wilbur section. Walnut Avenue, 500 block. PJ Hill. I left PJ Hill in 3rd grade. So we had 2 guys down there that I looked up to. I used to go to the courts. It's called Cook Ski. Steve Worthy and Greg Grant. I was a young buck, but these were the guys that was superstars in Trenton. They went to Trenton High School, had decent careers. Left Trenton, came up top. My mom called her first cousins, RM Projects,
Right.
and she wanted to make a transition from South Jersey to North Jersey. So I was in 4th grade. So from 4th grade, I came up top. I was at school 20. Transition, stayed in the projects a while until mom got on her feet, do what she need to do, and get us up out of it. So just being in that setting, you get friends and you get tight. So guys like Rico Stocks, Sam White, James Scott, we were out here playing with them. So the court in the projects, it was a burnt court, broken court. It was a single court. That's where everybody played at. Once the new court was put there, I think I was 7th grade. Like Define, KD, Cook, and a lot of these guys, Omar, Tinker, tough. So in my mind, I didn't think nothing about Clifton, New Jersey. I'm thinking about Eastside High School.
Right.
I want to play with my guys. Certified, I want to be around my guys.
Right.
Things didn't work out that way for me. But that journey from Trenton to Paterson is what I really learned basketball. Just being in projects. We didn't have no one to come to us and say, hey, they're going to instruct us how to dribble, how to shoot. You had to figure this out on your own.
Yeah.
You had to try things out on the court.
Yeah.
But being up there made me tough. That's how I learned how to shoot a jump shot, man.
Great
And
shot
I
it
mastered
was.
that.
Yeah, great shot it was.
You left out one thing, no disrespect to Young Buck, but I won the 3-point contest, first 3-point contest ever in 1993. And I went up a young buck named Tim Thomas. He was a freshman. In that competition, I walked away with the trophy, man. Shout out to Tim.
Pardon me.
Villanova, big dog.
Yeah, shout out to Tim.
So after that, I journeyed to Clifton, where me, DJ, Jamal, D-Star, Hakeem Ward, we all would just go and play basketball every day. Now think about this: Nash Park, Sea Caucus, the Reebok courts, T-Neck, all day long. I'm talking when Saturday hit, 12.
Reebok courts, Hackensack.
Hackensack,
Street.
absolutely.
That's what we was called.
So 10 o'clock in the morning to about, 9 o'clock at night day?
Wow.
All day long, salt on your face, go home, wash, and now we out.
Right.
So that was our life. We all taught each other, actually.
Right.
But once we had children, it was like, I know up to this point how I can help him. But I have other individuals that can get him where I need to get him to. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because after a certain age, the blockage comes. It's like when you talk to him, it's here. Yeah. But when this guy says something, it's like, oh, okay, all right. So it was a different, different lifestyle, different moments with growing up with basketball. But for me, and then Jim Salmon, I gotta give you a shout out, Jimmy.
Shout out, Jim.
Jimmy opened up the doors to AAU for me.
Okay.
2000.
Okay.
Adidas. So the program was Adidas program. I never been to Vegas.
Right.
Never been to Indianapolis. Never been to Connecticut, Philadelphia, all these different states. Just being around high level basketball.
Right.
So my input, my coach at the time, my head coach was Jerome Smarts. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Cheese Rock.
Coach still.
And man, D-Star brought me to gym. Jim like, oh, Flat want to be down? Right. Oh, you're going to do this. This is going to be your job. So, my job was making sure everybody get around. I was a transportation guy.
Right.
But once I got on the team, ran with a lot of them guys who had bad shots and didn't know how to shoot properly. That was my job.
Right.
We're gonna get that jump shot right. Get it up. Don't shoot from here. We shoot from here. So it was a lot of different techniques. Some guys went back to their old ways.
Right.
And then they had to figure it out later on. But a lot of guys that listen, IQ is everything, man.
For sure.
You could be the most athletic person in the world, but if your IQ is real low, it's hard.
You seen it.
It's real hard. So, I think, man, just coming to Paterson, New Jersey, is what got me and made me the individual I am today.
All right. And can you give us your basketball history is a lot of history there. I think in high school, I think people need to know. Yeah, young as y'all know about the great daughters, and they are great, but it started a while before that. And Dad did a lot of stuff, and Dad was doing. Internet wasn't as big, but Dad was doing a lot of crazy stuff, and I think you guys should understand the history of why somebody is who they are, where it come from. So could you please tell the audience your upbringing and how you got started and some of your accomplishments with this as a player?
Right. I just started playing basketball. I think in Paterson, man, growing up, we all just played every sport. Like everybody played basketball, baseball,
Right. Yep.
football. That is what you did. I just, I was athletic. My thing was Taekwondo back then. I was known as the Karate Kid, whatever. But I think basketball became prevalent in my life when I transferred from Don Bosco to PC, because I went to Don Bosco, yes, to play basketball and to play baseball, but I was a baseball guy. I was all state my sophomore year, and so when Jim got the job at Paterson Catholic, and I decided to transfer, that for me changed my entire life. It is definitely no trajectory without that decision being made. Go from an all-boys school, which is a great school, then you go to Paterson Catholic, which is known as Punk City. They ain't have a winning record in 20-some years. And then my first year there, it's me and it's a bunch of freshmen and Stanley Jackson and TJ Wimberly as well, and from Brooksville. And we were juniors, and Maurice Mathis was a sophomore, and there was a bunch of freshmen, V.I., Rose, Sean, all them guys, Rodney, Bethea, Dale wasn't even coming up yet. Even then.
That's a crazy
They was
team.
all freshmen, what I'm saying? And I was a junior, and there we go, we started making noise. Everybody, shit, Jim was a very young coach, 27 years old, and then, my senior year, obviously Tim came, and that's all she wrote. But I think just changed my life, because it changed me from a baseball guy to a basketball guy.
Right.
It was hard for me to kind of come from basketball season, especially that junior year where we was packing gyms, man. We was having sellouts. And
Really?
yeah, before Tim even got there, we was packing gyms, you know what I'm saying? And because Jim had already a basketball going on, you know what I'm saying? He was at East Side doing his thing. He was real young, charismatic. And Jim always had all the basketball connects. Like, so when he was at East Side, he would take everybody, like take us all and go to 5-star. Like, we wouldn't have known about no 5-star if it wasn't for Jim. You know what I'm saying? Nobody in Paterson. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody in Paterson. It was always me, JS, and everybody from East Side and stuff like that. And if you were a good player in Paterson, Jim had you and brought you to 5-star. So I wouldn't have never been exposed to none of that stuff. At that time, it was nothing else going on. AAU wasn't nowhere near like it is now.
Right.
Everybody played baseball during the AAU season. It wasn't basketball. You know what I'm saying? Basketball was kind of secondary in the spring. You really played outside.
Right.
Really baseball season. So I think that decision really changed my life in terms of basketball. And I went to college or whatever, and then came home, played a little semi-pro ball here, and then nothing serious that I would ever say I was a pro baller.
Yeah.
But you come home, you play these little pro-am leagues, you got the Sure League, they playing, you can play against Delaware, stuff like that, little stuff like that.
What
And
college did you go to?
Shaw University, play at Shaw University, HBCU, CIAA, Ben Wallace, all those guys I played against, his school was Norfolk State was in the CIAA when that was the real CI. Like we had all the Division I rejects playing there. Like Division I schools would not play us because we were that good. You know what I'm saying? Like Lavelle Moten, that was my guy playing against him all through college. He's the famous coach at Central. You know what I'm saying? So like we all kind of came up that era. You know what I mean? And then the CIAA kind of disbanded like right after that. You know what I mean? Hampton, all that was CIAA. You know what I mean? And then it kind of disbanded. It's nowhere near like it was now. At that time, CIAA was the biggest, college conference tournament in the country. Then it was the ACC tournament. It was really like playing in front of 19,000 people. I can't explain what that's like. You know what I mean? It's an amazing thing. And then I, coached at Paterson Catholic when I came home. AAU, all gym ties. There's nothing without Jim Salmon.
Yeah.
And got my daughters, got a son too. They all played. Nehemiah they just had a different sense of locking in and kind of listening to everything you say and applying it not only in the way you say it, but also their own personal nuances that add to it. You know, it is what it is. You know, from there.
Yeah, definitely shout out to Jim. My first time traveling was because of Jim, because I played with the players.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I remember.
my first flight to Vegas, first time going to Vegas, first time going to a lot of these states, and we just was talking about, just with the Orange Bowl was, a lot of that was because of Jim, because he was the guy, who ran the players at the time. So I get that he connected a lot of people when it comes to just like Paterson basketball, especially when you went outside of Jersey to play basketball. Even now, like once again, we know Jim has a lot of contacts. He can probably call a lot of college coaches in the country right now. So, definitely shout out to Jim.
Just to be clear, Jim can call anybody he wants. There's probably maybe 4 other people in basketball will have the iconic status that Jim has.
Wow.
He's just not celebrated as much.
Yeah.
We're talking about Sonny Vicario, rest in peace, George
in
Rav,
peace.
rest in peace,
Yep.
Tom Kachowski, rest in peace, Garth.
Rest in
Jimmy
peace.
Salmon name is right there.
Yeah, 'cause he
There
brought
is
all
no
those
sep-
guys here.
He
There
bought
is
it
no
right here.
ABCD camp
He brought all
or
those guys here.
Absolutely.
come on, man. I mean, I was at San Antonio game the other day, and I was shouting at Vince, like, yo, VC, what's good? We gonna get this right or what? He just looked at me and kind of shunned me off because, Vince came to Paterson because Jim.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All that greatest team they talking about.
We talk about
That's
Vince
because-
Carter, by the way, audience.
Yeah, I mean, but that team, Kobe, Vince, Tim,
Bob Givens.
it was
tournament.
given to Jim
Chapel
because
Hill.
that's Jim.
Yeah.
Anybody else could have gotten out, but that was because Jim was Jim. And there'll probably be never nobody like Jim. And stuff that we've
Dante
experienced
Jones.
is just unbelievable stuff.
That was my I think going into my junior year or sophomore junior year, Vince sponsored us.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm saying.
The relationship
Yes.
that he had with Jim.
Yes.
So, the players was Adidas.
What's that, 03?
We wore Nikes. We had the Vince Carters.
You was 03 when you played?
Yeah.
Exactly.
We had the Vince
Because
Carters.
you was a year under Wani from Delaware. Jawan,
We was
remember
the same-
Jawan?
we was on the same team.
Same team. Okay,
We was on
because
the
I
same
coached that
team.
year before you.
Yeah.
And then Kyle took it over.
Yep.
We was just talking about that because I had Jawan, I had Chris Bussard, I had Victor Cruz. They were on.
Yes.
Rest in peace, Kaz, Pops.
Yeah.
I told
Yeah.
Jim I'm not coaching that team if I don't have Pops and Kaz with me. Richard Hayward, that's funny and stuff. I forgot all about
So
that.
Wani had moved up and was playing with us.
Yeah, yep,
That's what it
yep,
was,
yep. Okay.
Great experience. Great experience.
Great experience. Great experience.
Big time tournament in Vegas.
Yep.
So you guys named a lot of people from the city. Your name Tim Thomas. You talked about the comments for Jim, yourselves, the James Scotts, all these different people. There's a lot of talent that came out of Paterson that went all the way, or people that's not from Paterson that was drawn to Paterson because of somebody from Paterson, like a Jim South, right? What is it? I guess what I want to say is, like, out of New Jersey, I'm not sure who got the most players that might went all the way from a city, but I feel like we're in the top 5 and we're not number 5. I feel like that. I feel like there's a lot of people from Paterson that went on to the league. How many people you think we might have had over the years?
I don't believe it's that many.
Nah.
I don't believe it's that many.
From one city?
What it is a lot
College.
of those guys came through Patterson at
Yes.
one point in time because,
They
and
played
once
on our
again,
They
played on
they
the-
played
okay.
against a lot of
So they
a lot of
connected,
tournaments
but
that
not
Jim
like
might
this.
have had in Patterson at the time
Right.
too. So I can remember even when I was, playing, and this is 2003, when Sebastian Telfair
Yes.
had Gerald
Yeah,
Smith.
yeah.
Everybody at some point had to come through
here in
Patterson.
Paterson.
So that's why it may seem like Patterson.
Produce a lot of talent.
Yes, because this is the place still. We still holding tournaments to this day.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Jim used to say something, and I actually, at certain points, I've repeated this, but he used to say, "See me now, or see me later, but sooner or later,
You got to see.
you're gonna have to see me."
That's right.
And that's because, again, his reach was that deep.
Yeah.
And let me just piggyback. See, I get little chills through my body when you talk about Jim, man, because this guy just was mastermind behind the basketball operations in this city.
Yeah.
You know, any other city he can touch, but he wanted to make sure that he promote this city. And if you were good, Jimmy no.
Yeah.
If you was okay, Jimmy no.
Yeah.
And he made it so that you're able to play.
In my opinion, he's the first person to define levels to
Yes.
people. People didn't understand levels
Yes.
until he
That's what I was good.
he presented that to people. He showed you it's levels to this. You understand? And people didn't really understand that, and people still don't. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I
people
think,
still don't.
and that's how you can mismanage careers as well. You want to
Yeah.
be realistic about your
A
expectations.
lot of
but-
parents.
And Paterson, you know, a lot of people think, yo, good. Like, I laugh at people like, yo, man, you should have been a pro. No, the fuck I wasn't, nigga. What you talking about? I wasn't a pro. I didn't even thought about going to NBA. I didn't even thought about going to the league. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't no league level player. What?
Nah.
I ain't even played D1. You know what I'm saying? I
We were
played
tough.
D2. I was good.
But
You know what I mean? I played. I was
levels.
banging this Division 1 player. But at the time, as a 17-year-old at that time, I got where I was. I was a Division 2/low Division 1 player.
Right.
That's what it was. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
still high level.
And that's still high level.
That's still
Just compared to like P4.
3% chance.
Yeah, getting there. Yeah.
Right.
I was being
That's
recruited by FDU, St. Peter.
But yet, it's still
You know
level.
what I'm saying?
You understand?
No, that was
and, that's,
that
and that's what I
level.
mean.
Yeah.
And that's why I
As far as
understand.
still hard to do.
Went to Keystone
So
Junior
we're
College.
like even when we're talking about talent in the town and stuff like that, we have to consider levels. You have to consider levels. Like you know what I'm saying? You
He
can't
broke it
say
down
You're the best.
the
this-
best way possible.
Yes.
I think you just
That's a fact.
segued right into what I want to talk about now.
The list.
The list. The levels. All right, so let me just catch our audience up. There's been somebody that put out a list, and every couple of years, every couple of years it'll be somebody I don't even think it's from our town that I put out this list. So I'm not bashing them because they probably going off of the information that they got. However, I'm here to let you know you don't got enough information, right? So I said I wanted to talk about not necessarily like who and who should be on the list.
Yeah.
Because that's opinionated a little bit. I want to talk about what's the qualifications to make the list, right? So like, because how are these lists being made? Because I think that if we got to a point where we like, listen, you need to hit this box, this box, this box, and this box. And if you hit these boxes, then we can rank you accordingly. Because I think that's why people get into all upset. They're like, what? Right? And it's not that it's not that people that was on the list is not great. It's just that what are we basing it off of? Because if you basing it off of certain things, then we missing names or we got people in the wrong spots. And that's what everybody's argument was over this list. So what do you think about that?
I agree with everything that you just said.
Yeah.
I think there are, once again, levels, right? Yes, guys were good high school players, great high school players. But at the same time, just like we can't, just not acknowledge what DJ did and anybody who went to college, because it's still 2 to 3% chance of making it. So if you, just in New Jersey alone, we're not even talking about just 50 states. We're just talking about in Jersey. How many high school basketball players is it in Jersey? So it's still a 3% chance where there got to be 600,000-700,000 high school basketball players. So to still get a basketball scholarship,
It's very hard.
it's very hard.
When the team that's holding to 13, 14,
And it's more that goes into play than just athletics, because you still got to do what you got to do academically to get a scholarship. So I think all of that has to, be talked about when you talk about a list or everything, especially when you're talking about college. So maybe if you had a high school list of people who only play high school, okay, I can see that. But then I feel like the Division 1 or Division 2 or those players, they got to be on a separate list as well, because it was extra things that they had to do, because a lot of people don't even know what that college life is like.
Can I ask y'all this?
Go ahead, bro.
This list was said, just going off what they said, the best basketball players from the city was on this list. What do you consider categories that gotta be reached in order for you to be the best basketball player, not from just this city, any city? What's the category?
See, when you speak categories, the number one thing that anybody say, did he make it to the league? Okay?
Right.
That's first and foremost.
Yeah.
Was he a high-level Division I basketball player?
And can I say this? Can I
Yeah.
interject real quick?
Yeah.
Because this is some people's arguments. I want you to answer it with this in mind. If I'm Shamari Reed, usually for example, and somebody's like, I'm good, but my grades wasn't good, so I couldn't go to college. Could I still be on this list, or am I?
You're
X'd out?
disqualified off the list.
All right, so I just wanted to know that. Okay, go ahead.
Only because, see now, when we talk about levels, all that comes with them levels.
Well, that comes.
Academics come with that level.
Yes. Okay.
So because you was left behind because you didn't have the grades, but you was a fantastic athlete.
Yeah.
You could have been better than the individual that went to that college.
Yeah. But you disqualified.
You're disqualified.
All right, that's good. So all right, so now you can continue. Okay.
So on that list, if I'm correct, if I remember the right way, it was Tim Thomas,
Yep.
Tyrone Collins,
Yep.
Marquise
You wanna
Webb,
bring it up.
Marquise Webb,
Yep. Marquise Webb.
Dwight Wilson
Dwight Wilbert, who I don't really know much about, but
Right.
I heard he was pretty good.
and TC.
I already said Tyrone.
TC?
Yeah, I said
Tim,
Tyrone.
TC,
Yeah.
JS,
JS.
Dwight,
And
So hands down,
yeah.
them four individual. No, I don't know much about.
Oh, you don't know Wilbert.
I don't know much about Wilbert.
Okay.
But I do know about
the four.
Tyrone Collins, two-sport All-American,
Yeah. Yep.
head coach at Kinley High School,
Yep.
raised two fantastic young men.
Yep.
James Scott,
Yeah.
East Side, everything.
Yep.
Went to SMC Junior College, went to St. John's, went to Miami Heat.
Miami Heat.
Marquise Webb,
Yep.
fantastic basketball, 6'5" point guard.
Yep.
So let's keep that in mind.
Yep.
6'5" point guard.
Yeah.
Went to Rutgers, fantastic career.
Yep.
Went overseas, came back home, and won a state championship as a coach.
Yeah. Look out.
So when we talk about do individuals belong on that list, it's different. It's different generations.
Yeah.
The way that list is broken down, it's different generations.
Yeah. And I think some people's argument was, and I want to shout out the people that's on the list because I think that all the people on the list was amazing, is amazing. And then some people was like, well, what about, I'm just making up names. What about a Rory Sparrow or
Yeah.
Tony
I was
Murphy
shocked to
Sr.
see
or-
that Tony
or
Murphy
yeah.
and Roy Sparrow wasn't on the list.
Yeah. So now, what's the rebuttal for that? Because these guys that's on this list deserve to be on this list? Like, how do we?
Honorable mention.
This is what I had to say about this, and I know we talked about it.
Your father led the nation in scoring.
It's a level.
Yeah.
If you have never done that before, right? I don't think there's been nobody who's done that on a list, right?
Yeah.
Nobody on the list has led the nation in
In scoring, correct.
He's the only HBCU player ever to lead the nation in scoring, right? So, and we talk about he got drafted to the NBA as well, after that senior year. So when I talk about levels, and we just talk about solely basketball, and we talk about numbers, because that's what gets you paid for the most part. It's your numbers. They go off in numbers. Numbers wise, how is he not on that list based on the numbers? That's what I'm saying.
We have an argument.
I think that's what the part. I think people got arguments for certain
No,
people.
they got arguments with
But
certain people.
with certain people in a category like this, when it comes to that, a guy that led the nation in scoring, averaged 32 points. He had 1,000 points in one season. How could he not be on the list? In college, that's hard. Anybody who's played college basketball knows that that's a hard thing to do, to average 32.
He did it in high school too, right?
And did
He
it in high
averaged
school.
20 in high
Yeah.
school. His junior year, he averaged 23 at Southern. So he had 1,000 points in 2 years.
Right.
So if nobody,
No, but in high school,
High
he ain't-
school.
he ain't lead the nation in scoring in high school.
no, I don't think so.
He didn't?
No,
Okay. I
they
thought-
had a solid
I
team
thought he
in high
seen
school.
Okay.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, he averaged about 20 something, but their team was solid. Him, Sparrow.
Yeah.
So they had a solid team. But just off of that alone, when we talk about levels, if nobody has done that before, how do you not have that person on the list?
I think that's a fair argument.
Fair argument.
I think
But
it's a
he's
fair
the
argument.
only one.
He's the only
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
He's the only one
Yeah.
that you can have that argument about
Yeah.
versus the other five.
Yeah.
Maybe Wilbert get taken out and Murphy get put in. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
But I don't really know
I don't know,
Wilbur's
yeah.
background.
Yeah, I don't know his
To say
background,
that,
too.
yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
I don't know his background to
Yeah,
really,
to
you know,
say
speak
that.
on that,
Yeah.
elaborate on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, that was my only thing because it's documented.
Any thoughts?
It's documented.
Any thoughts
It's
from you
documented.
about the list?
No, I think he has a great point with Murph, and I was saying that for me, well, there's 3 non-negotiables. Tim, TC, and JS are non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable.
I think everybody agree with
They're
that.
non-negotiable. for me.
Absolutely.
I can't like
Not debating
they're not
that.
going
Yeah,
nowhere.
I think everybody agree
Right,
with
they're
that.
not going there. For me,
set
you got
in
the other
stone
2,
right there.
you know, Keith,
Wilbur.
the way he's just self-made. I mean, Keith is someone who I think maximized his potential. He wasn't the most athletic. He wasn't gonna shoot you or whatever.
Very smart.
But I've literally felt what his energy can do to a team in terms of winning
Yep.
on both levels. You know what I'm saying? Even in college, you know what I mean? Just talking to Gary at the time and just understanding what he meant to Gary and the team. It was something that at that time, again, being visible and experiencing that, it was something that was very profound for me. You know, so I had no argument with that. Yeah, I definitely think him and Wilbur for me as well. We're going to Don Bosco, just the legend of, Dwight Wilbur, him winning a national chip at Villanova, stuff like that. And, yeah, that's tough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's tough.
Then being Paterson guy, him a guy that's kind of lived around my block away, a little bit from me. So kind of that. But I said this definitely, like, I was thinking Miles Mack,
Right.
guy, obviously Murph, I think Murph would, for me, he can be in there
Yeah.
for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, it's already before.
I would not be mad at all if he replaced Dwight Wilbur. And I'm just thinking of eras. Like, I would say Murph probably before Dwight when I'm looking at it, because, the buckets, you can't, like,
Yeah.
bruh.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care where you at,
Yeah.
what you doing.
Yeah.
You beating the nation in scoring, bruh.
That's
Yeah,
tough.
that's
Like,
tough
and even
to
me
do.
growing up,
That's
like,
tough.
I used to hear about Murph. So I remember
Absolutely,
even at the
that's what
Wad
we used to
Lake,
hear.
I used to remember him like never missing type shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I
Jump
understood
shot
what it
was
was like.
pure.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, he actually the first person, man, that like I remember really young, and we was at the Y with old school Wiz and all them guys.
Wiz,
Real-
shout
some
out to
real old
Wiz.
school guys, and like just playing horse where you can't hit the ramp, stuff like that. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
man.
That's when you master this skill to the point where you can do it on the record. And I know you understand because you've done it so repetitively that you just used to, like, you shooting around, it's like you're not even expecting to miss when you shoot. You know what I mean? Remember that vibe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Might not be as much no more, but like when you just, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, when it comes to the list though, you definitely could add some people in there and do some things, but those names right there, especially Murph, those stick out. Like Miz as well, as a winner he was. And then you got some people that played out of the city. That's another thing, right? What are we doing? Are we going to say everybody who's played all their career in the city?
So I always consider Kyle Anderson as somebody that's in the city because he grew up
He
playing.
grew up here.
Paterson.
Yeah.
Like he grew up playing in Paterson.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I always consider. I know people they don't know because it says what Hackensack.
Yeah.
It says,
No,
it says
Leon.
North Bergen.
North
North
Bergen.
Bergen, yeah.
Bergen.
Just North Bergen,
But everybody knows where he
Yeah.
played basketball.
This
But
is
it's the
where
same-
he
but
got
it's the same-
tough right here.
But it's
Yeah.
the same thing with like him
JR.
and Miles. When you look at
Yeah.
everything with him and Miles, it's like they exclude their Patterson Catholic history and always talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
St.
St.
Anthony.
Anthony.
All right?
Yeah.
No matter documentaries you see, no matter what, it's like they totally exclude that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's funny. how
But
that
let me
works.
tell you this much. I have arguments because, having been from the basketball world, brothers in the hood come to you like, Flat, yo, man, who this kid? I'm like, man, that's Marquise Swag.
Yeah.
I ran it down to him. Y'all might know his uncle. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. And they like,
Light bulb.
oh, yeah, Light Bulb. They're like, oh, it's Light Bulb's sister's son. I said, yeah. Oh, yeah, he was tough. You know what I mean? Then they'll sit back and think about it. Yeah, Paterson Catholic, big guard, went to Rutgers. So,
And he definitely was tough. Nobody.
but what
nobody was
Marquise
saying that.
did versus how we talking about Big Murph,
Yeah.
where do we equate in far as
Yeah.
that list? You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Do we exclude him? No, because in his era, he was tough.
For sure.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, do you do a 10 team A 10-player team, you know, a history
Maybe.
team,
How do we-
historic team.
How do we do it though? That's the only thing. So now
You do a second team? You
Yeah,
know?
so let's talk about that. It is a second team.
Oh, it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a second and third team. But my whole thing with
Where's
just the
Dad
teams
at on
in
that?
general-
Dad is not even on the second team.
My dad not even on the third.
He's not
team.
even on the third team.
Whoa.
He wasn't on the third team either. They had me on third team, but he should be before me.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Read the second and third.
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
Irv
second.
Watkins,
Who?
second team.
Irv
Irv
Watkins?
Watkins,
Big Irv?
Quan
Success.
Johnson,
Okay.
Rich Corsetto, James Hargrove, Don O'Han is second team. Then third team they got Larry Doby, myself, Chris Collins, Roy Sparrow, and Deshaun Williams. Last on the first team.
They put last on the third team.
He put last on the third team.
So my whole thing is
tough. So, hey, listen, man. I don't even know who's making the lists, man.
No, we
Who's
don't.
making the
But-
lists?
Nah, you don't know.
But when we so
That's a tough.
are we going off numbers? That's my only thing. Like a lot of times when we talk about this, a lot of people talk about people that they've seen, people that they're familiar with. But if we're, just talking about basketball realistically, and we all know how important numbers are. When we talk about the numbers, who's top 10 based on the numbers?
Yeah, and just for clarification,
Because
this is not to bash anybody that's
No,
on
yeah,
this
no,
list.
no, of course not.
Everybody that's
Absolutely
on
not.
this list is a great player.
Absolutely.
We
Yeah.
celebrate them and they belong on the list.
Yeah, we're not saying
We're
nobody
not
should
saying
be
that
on the
nobody
list.
should be on the list. What we are saying is what categories are you going off of, because where they're ranked may not be accurate, and it may be somebody else that's supposed to be on this list. That's what we're saying.
number-
But they
We're not
speaking for
bashing nobody.
themselves because some people don't belong on that.
Hey,
I
hey,
don't
hey.
know what they talking about.
You're speaking
Some
for me.
people do not belong on that list.
Absolutely.
I don't know what they talking about.
Absolutely.
I don't know what that is. Some people just don't belong on that list.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, speaking for us, trying to still be here next week on
Yeah.
the podcast.
No, we good.
You all belong on the list. But we gonna respect what our guests are saying.
But still,
Mr. Pauldo spoke for me
Is
as well.
Is it based on numbers? Like, what are we really basing the list off of? Is what I'm saying. Is it? That's all I'm saying.
That's
like,
what I'm curious about,
How
too.
do they?
But that's not even off numbers. You look
Yeah.
at that's
Right.
not even.
That's not off numbers.
This not even off numbers.
No.
Right.
So I'm just saying, like in general.
That's not even off aura. That's not off. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it's
Maybe
off.
who they like. You know,
That's what I'm
Maybe
saying,
it might
who
be
they
off what
like.
they
it
like.
might be off that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
They got going on winning either.
No, it's
Yeah.
not off winning.
Not
That's
off
not
winning.
winning either.
So that's what I don't know what they're basing it off of, and just in talks in town, period. Like when everybody talk about it, because once again we just said it, it's levels. So a lot of the young guys, like they had great college careers. They had like Miles, Kyle. They had
Yeah.
great
Listen.
high school
Yeah.
and college careers.
Fuquan Edwards.
Fuquan.
another
Come
one.
on.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
another
saying?
one.
Justin Krosgale, Pops.
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 You know what I'm saying?
Everybody had good.
Yeah.
college
Listen, we
careers
can go
that are
on
not
and on.
mentioned.
We can
But
go
they had the
on and on.
numbers. So what are we basing the list off? Are we basing it off numbers? Because I'm sure they have better numbers than a lot of people that's on this list.
Absolutely.
One
Not
thing
a
that is
division
for
one,
sure right there is that everybody played in the town.
Okay.
They're
That's
all
one thing that's
Patersonians.
common.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They
All
play,
Patersonians.
everybody on that list played all 4 years in Paterson.
Yep.
So that's one thing I'm assuming is considered. All 4 years in Paterson. That's why I could see why somebody like a Kyle or a Miles or somebody, is excluded who would play for another town. They're from the town, but those people clearly played in Paterson all 4 of their high school years.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
Can we before we move on to the next topic, could I get your list?
My top 5.
Yeah.
So I would take out Wilbert and add Murph.
Okay.
That's the only. I would leave everything the way it is.
Yeah.
All 4. Snots. If you don't know who that is, that's James Scott. Keish Black. Marquise Webb. TC. You know what I mean? Like just what he did in the sport of
Right.
football and basketball is just amazing.
Amazing.
And Murph, who led the nation in scoring. It's pretty hard not to, add someone into that equation for the top 5. Now, the second team, I might have threw Wilbur.
Yo. Okay.
Kawan Johnson, great second team.
Yeah.
Wani was a beast. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
Yo.
Donald Hand was second team as well, right?
Yes.
Buck was a fantastic point guard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Last would have been on that second team, man.
Yeah. I agree.
Last would have been on that second team for me. Now we talking generations. Like, you know, I know they
He
had.
said 5, man. You go on the second team. He said
Oh,
5.
yeah, my fault. Go ahead. You know,
I
go ahead.
think. I mean, just
Who would be in your list?
just for, you know, just I would rock with those three. Those three aren't going anywhere. I think you got to put Murph in there, and I could say, you know, because of numbers and because of impact, I would have to say Keith as well. You know what I'm saying? So I would do that as well. You know what I mean? And, you know, again, it's really close when you start saying this about somebody, that about somebody. It's really, really close in town. I think at the end of the day, the point is throughout major generations, we've had so much talent, and I wish we can all kind of have a link of all giving back in between, but there's always a gap and kind of a missing in between that, you know. But, you know, it's a perfect world for me.
Yeah. Cuz?
I don't know. I don't know. To be fair, I didn't see everybody.
Yeah,
Right? Like I was kind of, my father ain't had me around everybody like that. Like I just was used to what I was used to.
Yeah.
Like even now, like I just be focused on what I'm focused on. Like, and you know how it is.
Yeah.
Like, even when it comes to the team,
Yeah.
I don't be knowing what be going on outside. I just be focused on what's going on internally. So
Yeah.
it's you know, I feel like it's the same way I played and grew up with Keith, so that's different. So I saw him, so
Yeah.
I understand that. But
So what era was in high school when you was like playing for Impact and you was in midget league and stuff like that? What was in high school?
That
Who was in high school?
Would that be last? Would that be last?
I came into high school in 2000.
Last and then was
Okay, so right before that would be last would have been there.
Last, yeah. I remember seeing
Mikey,
Last play,
Mikey, put all of that would be Cardell. Oh, you saw all that. That all era.
I
Okay.
saw that.
Okay.
But before
I didn't
that,
see
you
before
really
that.
didn't
Yeah,
understand.
like I used to go to Eastside games and see Kawan.
You never
and
saw
all that
James
stuff.
Scott play?
Don't remember seeing James.
I only
He's
saw
too young.
James
He's
Scott.
too young for
Yeah.
that.
I only saw
So
him
my
play in
father-
tournaments.
We had.
He was amazing.
Yeah, my father and Kawan was super tight, so I went and saw him play a couple times. Like I've been at Eastside since then.
Okay, so around the Kawan, that's
That's the
real
Kawan
type stuff.
era.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So the Ethan Alexander and
I didn't
James
know
Scott,
that.
Santini
The
Moody,
Mungos, the Mungos, and all that.
the Mungos, the Sounds.
you know,
Yeah.
I remember seeing Lassie play, man, and I just thought this guy was super incredible.
Yeah.
But like, he was like one of the best I've seen
Yeah.
in person doing it.
Very good. He was
This
very
other
good.
kid that was at PC at one time, maybe a little year under him. I don't think he was from Paterson. They called him there real quick.
Kevin Freeman.
Not
No,
just.
Kevin Freeman was good.
Not just. Point
This kid
guard?
was from. He might have been. Let's say jump real high, shoot real high.
Oh, you talking about Putney?
Jeremiah King.
Jeremiah King?
Jeremiah.
That's Pooty, yeah.
So that's Putney. Yeah, Jeremiah King.
He was
Very good.
He was. I got to see him play.
He went to LaSalle. I think he finished
he
up.
was,
in LaSalle.
Yeah.
Mikey Cleves. I mean, watching these guys play.
Put
James
rest in
Lattimore.
peace, man.
James Lattimore. To be honest with you, I write films. I would love somebody to connect me with his family so that I could try to
Get a story.
get his story and document his story correctly. Somebody out there got his family information. Please get in contact with me. I think his story needs to be told to every person that's from this town to understand his greatness, to understand his challenges, to understand his wins and his losses. I think that is a deep story.
Dominated the AAU world. Eddie Griffin would not. It was a story, DJ. You remember that?
Of course.
Eddie Griffin would not leave
Yep.
until they found this guy.
Which was never an easy task.
It was never an easy task.
Never.
Jimmy was going crazy.
We couldn't
So
help but to
Jimmy
love that
Smith,
little
why do? Find him.
Yeah.
Put
That
game.
tell you how good he was.
That tell you how good he was.
But I mean, people won't
Very
know that.
good,
But
man.
that
Yeah.
no, like if
And he
you know,
wasn't
you
that
know.
tall.
Now, when you talk, absolutely wasn't that
wasn't that
tall.
tall.
But see, when you talk about players,
Yeah.
he didn't go to college.
He didn't go to college.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
One of
guys.
the best to do it that did not go
One of
to
the
college.
best to do it, but it's a lot of guys.
There's a lot of those.
Tony Davis, you know,
Yeah.
I'm going back eras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
But Put would probably be at the top of that list.
Oh,
Yeah.
He'll be
definitely.
at the top.
No,
of the
no,
list.
no,
We
no,
know
no.
that
He'd be at the top of the list.
Oh no, he's at the top of that
He
list.
would've
Though.
went.
It
If
would've
this
been
list
funny
was just,
watching that
if
shit
this
on
list
that
turned,
level.
Win.
if this list turned into the greatest players from the city, just up into their high school career,
That list would be totally
it's
different.
totally different.
Totally
It'd
different.
be totally different.
So what I tell you something. So it's funny. It's funny as that because my boy he always like used to always come through the crib, like the kids know him and stuff, especially Snook and all that. They, you know, because Snook and Jameer, his son Lil Put, they like played for Impact together coming up.
Yeah,
So like me and Put used to always come out of the house, stuff like that. And Lil Put used to always come and chill and all that, and used to always train him and stuff. So I just remember like somebody saying to me last day was like, "Yo, you know what, man? Yo, I can't wait to see what the twins do in college. So I want to see how that translates to college. You know what I mean? I know it's gonna see, but I want everybody to see it, and that's how like Put left everybody feeling."
Right, I agree.
And
I
I
agree.
didn't think about that. I was like, that's true. Like, because like we wanted to see how that looked out there, because it looked crazy to see him. He couldn't jump high. He couldn't. Shit was just like the stuff he would do. Like it was just bug watching. And that's a very true statement. Just to see how that translated at the highest level, like it'd have been very interesting.
I was watching this game one day. This might have been like 7 years ago, and it was this college announcer, and he was just like, "Man, this kid is this kid is that. Man, I haven't seen anybody do this since this great kid from Paterson, New Jersey, named James Latimer. This was a college game I'm watching.
That's tough.
This guy
man.
even go to college.
That's tough, man. Everybody knew
His
him. bro.
impact was crazy.
Remember, he played at the highest level. AAU.
Yeah,
Nike program.
yeah.
Yo. Shout out to Jimmy Salmon again, baby. You know, he
shout
has
out-
some of the best, man.
And shout out and rest in peace to James Latimer.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, bro.
Rest in peace to James Latimer.
Tough.
All right, so to pick this up, and this I really kind of want to talk to you, DJ, about going to college, right? You training these kids, getting them prepped for college. You know what it takes. You went there. You got your daughters there. You know, if y'all not living under a rock, please look up the Twins backcourt. They're only the greatest out of female basketball.
They ever did it in the city. Man.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go on and say bigger than the city, in the state. That's what I'm gonna say. Yeah,
I'm gonna rephrase myself. State New Jersey.
I'm gonna say the state, and I want to say more than that, but I'm gonna just chill right there. But what's the biggest misconception from players about playing college basketball that you see? What's some of the misconceptions that you think players got where they think they know but they don't know?
Most of them, they have this false sense of entitlement. That's definitely the thing that's gonna set you back. I think like guys like AJ and a lot of, you get this more so on the boys' side, not really on the girls' side. I think on the boys' side, you know, they have this thing where, you know, that's automatically gonna happen for you there. And the ones who you see a lot, usually people don't get that wrong. They get that type of pub like AJ and Cooper, stuff like that, because all the stuff, the small qualities, they have that and they've been checked already. So before you see all this big money in the market them, all that stuff has been checked. You know what I mean? And I think that's a big difference from on the women's side. I think the women's side is more of a fail-safe investment when it comes to marketing and things of that nature. So, but that's the biggest thing, man. You can't have a false sense of entitlement. Is going to earn. You could be number whatever in high school and then go to college, and guess what? You playing against 23, 24 years old, 24 year olds, and it ain't the same. It's a difference. Now you playing D. Now you getting worn down. Now guess what? That Jimmy ain't as normal as he used to be. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Everything is it's just a different process. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. You think it's misconception?
Yeah, because you're dealing with these guys now. You're dealing with a lot of the boys. You're training, and what are you running into out there?
The work ethic is just not there. Work ethic is not there. And then we talk about work ethic. Once again, we just talked about playing basketball. Like if we go past courts right now, are they out there? Like are kids out there working?
Empty.
I just remember waking up, going to Garrett Mountain, doing all that stuff. But of course, like how DJ's, you know, showing his daughters, that's how my father, you know, did it because he played.
Right.
So he knew what to, you know, teach me. So we talk about this all the time, just like I feel like it's different types of basketball players. It's certain basketball players that, you know, grow up with the foundation, and other basketball players, they find it themselves. Like, you know, rest in peace, Aldo. Like Aldo wasn't a foundational player.
Yeah.
He grew up playing at Montgomery Forest, playing at the courts, basically made himself better just by playing basketball.
Right.
Right. And still able to get to Division I level,
Right.
where my father played, I trained, I had a foundation off of fundamentals, which led me, to college. But at the same time, as we get older, we really rely on the fundamentals. We don't realize how important the fundamentals is. So, a lot of people don't have that. So now they're starting later, and you're trying to put all that in a short amount of time. But then they're on Instagram and they're seeing all these guys with, a certain success, and they're thinking that they're them. They don't understand that the work these guys are putting in. Right. So it's also, them being unrealistic to, just what's going on in the basketball world and just the work that that comes with it. That's what I see.
So I'd ask you something a little different. Same thing, but parents. You said something earlier. With the parents. So what's the misconception from the parents about these players? Because I got a lot of parents that come up to me and say, I know you're coaching the basketball, and I was wondering if, I should reclass, my son. And I'm gonna say this, just this is my opinion. Some of y'all kids ain't really that good, and you put in a sport where they're very mediocre, and I'm not just talking about like their athletic ability. I'm talking about their motivation and drive to get better. So they're very mediocre, and you're putting their academics second to a mediocre basketball player. I think that's a bad plan. Now, again, I'm not the basketball guru. That's just my personal opinion, and I don't think that you should be reclassing a kid that don't show that drive to really do what it takes for him to skip or waste that year.
In the classroom first.
I think yeah. If you're stuck, I think if, for instance, his success from his daughters when they were young, I think like when you see that and you see like, damn, they on it. I wake up, they already in the backyard, already in the court before me. Like a situation like that, I see it because you raising their value, you raising their stock. It's a strategy. That's the reason why they do it. Parents do it for a strategy. But just because you saw other parents doing it and now you think your daughter gonna be Mia Maya? No, like you're not. Like your daughter played basketball on just practice day, Wednesday and Thursday. She not practicing every day. Mia Maya practicing every day.
But he has a blueprint.
Yeah, it's the blueprint.
He has a blueprint. So they don't have the blueprint.
Before they even step in that backyard,
Right.
he's at that kitchen table with them, making sure that the academics is right before they can even go outside and touch a basketball.
Right.
See, as a parent, this is what you have to install in your children as parents, because being around, the young basketball world, man, for years, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, I had parents say, "Yeah, my son is ranked in the nation. My son is this. My son is that." Then come 8th grade, 9th grade, you don't even see these kids anymore.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So, and then let me piggyback on what you said about reclassing. Reclass is out there for anybody, right?
Right.
So it can help individuals that's not even good.
Okay.
They can become a
Okay.
great player.
Right.
But you got to want that yourself.
Right.
Your parent can't want it for you.
Right.
So you go to your parent and you say, "I want to reclass because I want an opportunity to be where he's at."
Right.
Some parents know their children, man.
Yeah.
So why waste his life if you know that?
Right.
So you might say, "You know what? No, we pretty tall. He might have an opportunity. We got to tighten up on the grades." Like it's situational things, far as your family, that you have to attack first. Got to get his grades right.
Okay.
Back in the 90s, you had to have decent grades. You had to score 700 for the SAT.
For the SATs, right.
You had to have a 2.5 GPA, right?
Yeah.
So now, I can see is you need more.
Yeah.
A lot of parents school up their children, man, because they have their kids thinking they're better than what they are.
There you go.
And it's sad.
Yep.
And it hurts me to even have to be around that environment.
Mm-hmm.
But as a coach, you're the parent.
Yeah.
Why my son not getting? I noticed that kid plays more than him. Well, if you really want to break it down, no, this is what I get. And this is what I get. I got to be real. Coach Flat, Coach D Star don't really talk to us. Yeah, he don't talk to parents. But any issues you have, you can come talk to me.
Right.
As well as DJ.
Right.
When I was on DJ,
Right.
you know, his right hand man, D, such and such. All right, I get to him when I get to him. But you know, we gotta take care of this first.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take calls later on tonight or something.
Right.
That, you know, parents come to, hey, Coach D Star, you know, I'm texting him and, you know, he's not, you know, hitting me back. Well, what's the issue? You know, I want to know what's going on with my kid playing time. Well, what do you mean? What's wrong with your kid? You know, specify a little bit more for me so, you know, I can, you know, take it back and you know,
Right.
break it down in sequence for the head coach.
Right.
Well, you know, I noticed that, you know, my son to get out there, well, this is how it works. I don't know if you understand how the game works, but if your kid is not doing what the coach is asking him to do, then we can't use him.
Hello.
And I don't mean use as in use and abuse. I mean use him as in a player on the court.
Yeah.
Because he don't know the plays.
Yep.
He's not playing defense.
Yep.
So what do you want the coach to do? Now, we do have, you know, individuals that can get them better. Take my number, give me a call, and I'll point you in the right direction. But as far as him getting playing time, you know, when you step on that floor, the coach asks you to do something.
Yep.
He's not asking you to do much. He asks you to be a team player. If you can't do that, then we can't use you. And the way that I was taught from him and D-Star, we want to deal with good kids, good character kids, and good individuals.
Yep.
We might take 2 or 3 little, you know, rough behind it, because if we can turn them, that's a plus for us, and it's a plus for the young man.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
So parents really destroy a lot of kids, man.
I agree
And
with
their
you.
goals, man.
So, I want to dive into the next topic. Both of you guys, development. For a parent that's out there listening, they're like, all right, we hear you, we get it, we don't have the information now, we watching this show, we trying to get the start of the information. What should I be doing? What should I be referencing if I'm trying to get my son to be more developed? My son, I'm gonna speak for myself. My son says he likes basketball. Now, I didn't have a crazy career, but I played basketball my whole life. So I understand what somebody that really liked basketball look like and what somebody that think they like basketball look like. I'm one of the people that thought I liked basketball.
Okay.
That's why I had the career that I had, because I thought I liked basketball. Until I got to college and I saw, oh, I got to live basketball if I really want to play basketball. Maybe the competition was a little easier in high school for me or grammar school, but this is the work. So I try to get that game to my son, and he like, oh, Dad, oh, man, yeah. So I'm like, all right, I get it. You don't really like basketball like that, so I'm going to treat you as such. But now, he's still saying like, Dad, I do like basketball, and I'm kind of in that crosshair, like, do I push him more because I know it's better for him? Do I fall back and let him be a kid? And I think a lot of parents are struggling with that. Or parents are just like, yo, my son want to play basketball. He do practice every day, but he just still suck. Like, what is some advice that you can give for development, or where you could gotta guide them to where they should start to try to help this child? Because they're not a basketball coach or a developer.
Right. Well, I mean, just from a parental standpoint, I mean, just a few things I always say. I mean, force will cause frustration, so you never want to force anything. You know, that's for sure. Never want to do that. It's up for you to expose your children to everything.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because they may be great or may be interested in something that they don't even know until they try it yet. So I think just trying to be diverse early on. For me, they just all gravitated to basketball probably because I was always doing it, coaching, and always been around it. So they kind of gravitated towards it. And then once I saw everybody doesn't have the opportunity to build a court in their backyard. I get that. Yeah. But, you know, just you have to put yourself in places and surround them with what you want to be. Just like we do as people, right? Eventually, you are going to be what you are around. So I think that's the most important thing. You got to find an environment that's about the level that you want to be at. And again, unfortunately, we don't have nothing like that per se in Paterson. At the back of the day, it was easy. Boys, players. Girls, sparks.
That's it.
You got everything on smash.
Right.
You know what you wanted to do. And if you thought you was that in the city league or something, you went and you played on that, and then you realized what you were really.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you were able to be humble quick, and you were exposed at a very early age to what the highest level of what you wanted to do was, which was basketball. So it's very easy for you to mold yourself around that. Because you would come back to town talking about kids that people never knew about. You know what I'm saying? So these things just broaden your mind, and it just changes your whole attitude towards everything. So if anything, I would say that it's probably due to a lack of knowledge and innocent ignorance that why most kids around here don't have the work ethic, because they don't have the exposure anymore to what it's like and what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like when you can pop up in a gym and see a player's practice on a weekend, you see all these players, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It'd be crazy, like, you know what I mean? But, oh, this is what, you know what I mean? It's different. You don't really, can't pop up in a gym or go to a park in Paterson and see that anymore. There's no real example of that. You don't even see anything about bringing that into town no more.
No.
As in, you know, I don't see that in the town. But gym, if you go to a gym's event, one of Jim's event, you'll see some high-level basketball.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But again, we're talking about the guy who've always exposed Paterson to high-level basketball.
Yeah.
And then another thing I want to say is, your kids are who you are. So DJ, being a coach, being around basketball, played basketball. Me, being around basketball, played basketball. My kids wanted to mimic that.
Right.
All but my daughter.
Right.
So I had three young men. They all wanted to play basketball. Played basketball, football, and baseball. My daughter just one day saw these individuals walking down the street with a racket. And she like, Daddy, what's that? I'm like, it's a tennis racket. So my wife was like, oh, you want to play tennis? Told me straight from the rip. She's not playing basketball.
Right.
She's mine.
Right.
Fantastic high school career.
Yeah.
All state.
Definitely.
Broke records at Tech.
Right.
So, no.
Yep.
Depends on the individuals, man, and what they want. And as a parent, see, this is when I get back to the parental individual, to the parent thing. As a parent, your job is to make sure that whatever they want to do in life, you back them 100%.
Right.
But you do it the right way.
Right.
If you don't have the means of getting them workout guys, it's called communication. You know someone that knows someone.
Right.
Phone call.
Your
Get him the
resources-
proper. Don't get to an individual and all he's doing is taking your money and you saying, oh man, my son's still a bum.
Yeah. I seen that too.
Because you're sending him to the money man.
Yeah. Send it to the money.
Yeah, just keep dribbling with your right hand. I'm on the phone chilling. Yeah, just keep dribbling. No, left hands now.
Yeah.
All right, session's over. Let me get that 50.
Yeah.
And you got 10 kids in there.
Yeah.
If I could do this every day, what would I need to work for?
Yeah.
So understand what you're doing as a parent.
Right.
You're hurting some of the kids, and some of the parents are helping the kids when you get with the right individuals. It's called communication and asking questions, man.
That's good. That's great advice.
That's it.
So now, guys, especially you, because I know this is kind of what you do with parents that's in this situation. The kid is good. People are coming to them. Brands are coming to them. NIL opportunities are coming to them. What's your advice about how to navigate that space? This is a new kid. It's new. Everything is coming. People are calling. I'm a parent. I don't know what to talk about with Puma.
Right.
I work at Pepsi. I work in a warehouse. I don't know nothing about talking to Puma about a deal. Where do they go? Do they find an agent? What should they be calling you? Like, what's going on?
So before you answer that one, my question before that one is, because I know a lot of people just operate off experiences. They like personal experiences because they can relate to that more. So how was it when, the opportunities came for the twins at the beginning? When you first, started getting those phone calls, those emails, communication, how was that for you, and how did you handle that? First your own personal experience.
Right. They did it. I made the calls. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand, when I started their brand, that wasn't a thing. You know, I was the wacko dad posting his daughters all the time and then walking around with TBC shirts and at events and people like, what is that? I'm like, it's their brand. What is the brand? Well, it's their brand. That's them. Look, that's their logo. You know what I mean? So, and again, that and this is why, you know, for me, again, you know, everything for me starts with Jimmy Salmon because I was able to identify levels. I knew what special was. So, again, I have kids and they're all not the same.
Right.
And, you know, my son played, he's one thing, but me and Meyer, at a very early age, I recognized that. So recognizing that, molding that, you know, I was very aggressive with the marketing and everything. So when it came to the brands and stuff, so their freshman year, you know, I knew everything we were doing. The content was a major part of what we were doing. I kind of knew with the push we had and the interest we were garnering from around the country. So I went to Nike, I went to Adidas, I went to Under Armour, I went to all of these companies, and they were like, "Man, we love them, we heard about them, but they're just so young." This is when they were freshmen.
Yeah.
So fortunately, my guy Billy Lovett, you know, he was a friend. He had a friend who had a party, and coincidentally, a Puma guy was there. I got introduced to him. I talked what I do, you know what I mean, and he came to a game. And he was just enamored, and that kind of started it. So it was all me. I was the guy at the time who would always tell people, you don't need an agency, you don't need this and that. But now I've turned into the guy who said, you better not go into college without an agent.
Yeah.
Because you do not understand the numbers. And you will never know the numbers as a parent. So, but I can only say that because I lived it.
Right.
Because so we pushed the whole women's thing. That was kind of us, Flaugier at the college level. We were at high school. We kind of pushed that, and you know, with us being the first ever with a sneaker deal and the youngest at the time, you know, that opened up doors for everybody after us. So as time progressed, opportunities become a little bit more prevalent for athletes. So it's like, what's next? It's always about, for me, it was always like, what's next? Like, even right now, like, as a point guard, like, I'm not even worried about you. I'm looking at that guy. I'm going to smoke you, and I'm worried. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at life. Like we always about what's next. And right now, you know, I kind of predicted that, you know, the college landscape, the one and done college was missing. They was going to have to start paying these kids, and I kind of knew it was coming. My girls went to college, didn't have an agent, trying to find out what the real market was. Parents ain't really talking, not really being transparent. So I did the best I could.
Right.
Still dealing with people, talking, find out the landscape. The landscape changes on a regular basis. So today's number may not be tomorrow's number. And I'm not talking about as a player and because you got better. I'm talking about the landscape. More money could become available.
That's right.
So that's why right now it's almost imperative that you have an agent. I just did a panel at the McDonald's All-American Games, and people came to me and said, "You was the guy who did it yourself." Yeah, now I'm the guy who said, "I need help."
Yeah, you're right.
I never am ashamed to say that. Like, I do what I do,
Yeah.
but I knew when I needed help, and it comes to a point where certain rooms you're gonna get blocked off of as a parent. You know what I mean? And that's kind of, you know, where I'm at now. Like, you know, the transition from me retiring as an educator, I'm kind of in the agent side of things now, and indoors listening to conversations that are pretty profound.
And so now, I guess to go back to that question, that makes even more sense now, because even though you didn't have the agency experience, you've been in the basketball world for a minute. So you kind of knew, you had like a network of people that you kind of knew. Now me, I never played basketball. My son played basketball, ended up being a stud.
You need help.
I need help. Where do I go?
You got to, again, just like anything in life, you got to find somebody you trust, but that's hard. You got to do your diligence, man. You got to, for example,
You gotta shop around.
there's no female in Jersey who needs help and say they can't have. They can always reach out to me. And again, people do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now, for I guess more on an official basis now because
Yeah.
of the space I'm operating in. But to find somebody you trust, man, who don't need nothing from you, it's a rare thing.
Very rare.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't need nothing from nobody.
Yeah.
But what I can do is show you how to do this shit.
Yeah.
And then we all gonna get rich off it.
right.
Because when you get it, is, you know what I mean? It
Trickle
all
back,
it
yeah.
feels everything falls into place, man.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. All right, we're gonna play a little game that we like to play at this show. It's called Stats or Cap. Okay. This game is a game where I ask you guys a bunch of little questions, and you say either stats or cap. Stats being true, or caps being false.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start with the first one. I'm gonna ask you. Most Division I basketball players were not the best player on their high school team at age 14. Stats or cap?
Stats.
You are correct. That is the stat. I'll go to the next one if you can get number 3, Merv. I'm gonna ask you, DJ. AAU basketball is more important than high school basketball for recruiting today. Stats or cap?
Stats.
Well, maybe it is stats, but they got it here is they say it's caps.
They want it to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not there.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're trying to push the power back. They're trying to push the power back into the high school side.
Yeah.
That's why they have all
tried
these
to stop
new leagues
AAU.
and stuff
You
like
remember
that.
that?
Yeah.
You know, they
Murph, you remember?
Yeah. All right. Go to number 3.
That
A player can be highly ranked and still not succeed in college. Stats or cap?
stats.
Yeah.
I've
Stats,
seen it
brother.
too many times.
We've seen it too many
Seen it too many
times.
times.
Absolutely.
College coaches value character as much as talent.
Stats.
Stats.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Come on.
I remember.
You're a bad person. They don't even want you.
Especially after my freshman year. You know, I used to be in on those meetings when we used to bring recruits in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, if they hear a little bit like, oh, this guy was, you know, he got into this and we got into this,
They
now
don't even
you
want
feeling
it.
an opportunity.
Because
Because
now
we
you're bringing
know.
that issue
Don't bring it
to
in
the
here.
campus.
Yep, so
yeah?
they don't even
And
do it.
around
Yeah.
good character individuals.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, audience. Every industry, if you are a problem, you cannot. I don't care how good you are. I don't care if you. I do music and film. I don't care how good you act, how good you rap. If you are a problem, they do not want you around. Do not be confused with people rapping and what they doing in the video. When they in the meetings, they are very, yes sir, how you doing? And I'm telling you, if you're a problem, people do not want to invest their money and
right.
waste their time with you, especially with sports. Because with sports, the money even way bigger. They're not wasting their time. It's just bigger stakes with sports. All right, next flat. Every player should try to play Division I basketball. All right, we ain't even got to answer that. That's for the cat. We ain't gonna answer that. We know that.
All right. The transfer portal has changed recruiting forever.
Stats.
Stats.
Definitely. It's
Yeah, definitely is that.
You don't even need. That's what hurts the young youth coming out of high school.
Yeah.
You know, you could be, you know, you was a stud and you've been recruited for the past 2 years, and now your senior year, they like, they're going to this portal and get me a guy that just left here and left there.
Crazy.
The older guys and the experienced guys is what they want their teams to look like.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, parents, if your kid's a stud, you class him twice.
Can I say this though? For you, for a person who has kids that's kind of in this situation now, could you talk about how the transfer portal is helpful for the player?
Sure. Absolutely. Obviously it's advantageous because if it don't work, you can leave.
Yeah.
And obviously that was our situation this year. But me and my situation, I mean, they proved they could play at the highest level, toughest conference in the country, but the system wasn't right? And we kind of knew it was kind of quirky going in, but just wanted to see how it looked, you know. I hope to amass one of the best talented rosters in the country, but she did what she did with it. But obviously it helps because it doesn't pin down the player. There's always going to be adverse effects to relationships like that. But I think at the end of the day, you want to make sure that the players get a chance to maximize their time in school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the ability to transfer, not sit out, man, that's big. You know what I'm saying? That's big because, because guess what? Every time the kid transfer, it ain't because the kid is a bad kid, the kid messed up.
Yeah.
That's why people are people, and sometimes coaches are messed up.
Oh yeah.
And coaches will lie to you and recruit over you and mislead you and stuff. And then you get jammed up.
Yeah.
So what about those people? What about
Yeah.
those players who have talent got jammed up in a coaching situation where the coach was there, then the coach happened to leave because the coach got a better job. I mean, we know players that got jammed up with these situations all the time. So the transfer portal for me just kind of created balance. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I think it created balance.
That's a good way to look at it too.
That's a great way to look at it.
Basketball IQ can overcome athletic limitations.
Stats, absolutely.
For sure.
IQ is everything. Because listen, you know angles, and you're smart. Kyle Anderson.
Kyle Anderson.
Absolutely, slow mo.
Yeah.
Marquise Webb.
Shout out,
Yeah,
Marquise
Marquise
Webb.
Webb. Yep.
Shout out.
Parents can unintentionally hurt their children recruiting process. Stats or cap. We all say at the same time. Stats.
Listen, I have a statement that I say all the time because, again, you can have a unique perspective being a parent as well as a coach at the highest level. Without a doubt, parents have ruined more kids' careers than any coach ever has.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
I agree. I do agree.
Yeah.
Understand what I'm saying?
That's on all level, parents.
And listen, it's not saying that it's malicious or intentful, but
Yeah.
you know, me personally, I've made sure that look, man, I got something special. I got to make sure I'm not the reason why they don't succeed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you know, it's not easy. You know what I mean? You can
No.
mess up by mistake. You know what I mean? Like with good intentions, you can mess up. You know?
And let me just say one thing, piggyback on that. See, it's two things. When a parent know that their kid is Division I player, but don't know the level of Division I. Oh, no, I want my son to play for North Carolina at Duke, but FDU is recruiting. You understand what I'm saying? Why not take that? And then, make some noise and see where you can go from there. But see, a lot of people don't think that way, man.
Yep.
You can go down to like number 13.
Yeah. Today's players are more skilled than the players in the 90s.
Ooh.
Caps.
Yeah, that is cap.
Caps.
Yeah, that's cap. And
90s ass. Generation, I'm just going to say decades of different individuals. So every 10 years or every 5 years, you're going to find some hell of players.
yeah.
That Paterson list that went to Paterson Catholic, and 80% of the kids were from the town, it was Patersonians.
You're right.
You're never going to find that ever again anywhere, bro.
You're right.
It's tough. It's about what? 7, 8 Division I players?
Yeah.
On one team?
Yeah, one team. One team.
High level
Tough.
Division
Yeah.
One.
Miles, Jayon, Lula, that group, yeah. 100%.
And
DJ.
the last one, winning matters more than statistics when being recruited. Stats or cap.
Say it again?
Winning matters more than statistics when being recruited.
Cat.
That's stats.
You said which one?
Stats.
I
You
say
said
cat.
They got it as cap. Why you
Yeah.
say cap? Why you say stats?
Because just because you're a winner don't mean that see
Listen, bro. Winning
no
matters.
winning matters.
Winning does matter.
No, winning
But
matters.
you might have been
But
a
in
part of the
certain
person
circumstances,
that made them win.
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, of
In
course.
certain circumstances, you can't always run off. Oh, I'm a winner, so I should be here, or I should be getting this because I'm used to being a winner.
Yeah.
It's not how life works all the time, brother. So I'm gonna cap that. You know what I'm saying? I get what you're saying, D, because you
No,
always
I-
wanted to
I
be a
know.
winner. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
I know what you're
that-
saying.
I
I know
think
what
I
you're
think it's one of those answers that's both, and this is why I say that.
Yeah.
I think that it's winning matters with your statistics.
Absolutely.
Recruiting,
Absolutely.
not just winning alone, may not matter because if you're looking at winning, this is a team sport.
It's a team
I
sport.
could be on a winning team and I could have did nothing to contribute to that win. So and then that's the case, then when it didn't matter for me to get a recruitment because I was on a championship team, but I had 2 points all season.
But you're being recruited because you know how to win. You're a winner. That's
Yeah.
why they're coming after you. You help this team get to where they're at.
If I help
If
the
you
team.
flip it.
If I
you
help
can
the
flip
team.
that.
If
You
you
know
can
what I
flip
mean? You
it.
can flip it that way and flip it the same way you said. Hey, I only had 2 points, but I'm part of a winning team.
We gotta go all the way down for time. So, in closing, I would like to say this. I would like to say the final question. If somebody's watching this interview 20 years from now, what would you hope that they learned from either some of the things that you did for basketball or that you said today? What would you hope is a lasting impression?
That they really paid attention of a lot of points and answers that was given out to help their children, so their children can help their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren. You know, because this is basketball minds here, you know, all around the board. And we're only here to help individuals and speak truth on the game of basketball and what it means, not just to ourselves, but to the world. So you can take something out of here to help your situation. So hopefully that's what this, you know, that's what come out of this years to come.
It's a good question. I'll say this. What I want people to understand years from now, and I guess because you'll be living a little bit more life. I think what I would want people to understand is raising a family, raising kids, it ain't easy. It's a dynamic where you have to have a sense of selflessness along with selfishness. But, you know, just in the town, I think I would like my legacy to be, he did this shit with his family. He got it wrong with himself, but he did it right with his family. That's what I would like to be. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope, basic.
That's
What
super
about you?
20 years.
Yeah, 20 years for real.
20 years. Pretty boy, 20 years and fly by.
Yeah.
I just want to see, it ain't about what I think. I want to see, you know, what the other people, especially the kids that I'm working with now. I want to see how they are in 20 years. That'll let me know the impact, you know, that I had. Just everybody.
For me, with basketball, I think that one of the reasons why Murph invited me to be a part of his team is because I give a lot of life perspective when it comes to the court. I think that is a lot more. I think it's a lot more that's important that happens off the court that affects you on the court. And I think that is great for people to have guidance and mentorship about how to have a mentality on and off the court. And I hope that with everybody that I touch, from players to people that I talk to people listen to the podcast, that my words have left an impact on mentality. We'll close there.
I got one last.
Okay.
For all of us, we grew up in it, and I know we still around a lot of the young guys, young, you know, ladies playing basketball. What does Paterson basketball need moving forward?
Need?
Good final question.
We need a recreation center, man. We need a recreation center for these young men and women. So, because right now, all we have is the streets.
You don't have a recreation center.
No, we don't.
That's open to the
We need a recreation center where all these young men and women can come to and have a peace of mind and learn. See, when we talk sports, right? Basketball is a tool so you can get a free education,
Right.
right?
Right.
Football is a tool, free education. Baseball, same thing.
Right.
How can we get these kids to that level when they don't have somewhere to come so we all can be in as one? Our city is separated, man. For years, it's been this way. We got to get these kids together. We got to be able to get a big place where everybody can be under and we can all learn from one another. You know what I'm saying?
Politicians out there that's asking for our vote. You heard what the people want. We don't want another apartment building.
No.
We want a recreation center.
Recreation center, man.
Any comments?
Nah, man. I mean, that's it, man. Just, you know, the town just needs. You said the rec center, and it was something that I actually was conversing about some people about it. Some properties in Paterson, particularly at supermarket down on West Broadway, that, you know, a couple of group of people were looking at to try to do something there. But that would be a great start, because I think to be able to we need something to centralize it. You know, we don't have anything to centralize anything. And just start opening the gyms so people get in the gym. I would start. You got all these schools. Open the gyms. You know what I mean? Murph easily run something. You ran that league that summer, hey, which was dope, man, by the way. You know what I'm saying? That was something like Paterson. That when I was small and all that for the summer, just for regular kids. Not they ain't got to be super.
That's what I wanted to say.
Regular kids that
And that
want to
was
ball.
just to get more basketball going
Going,
because once City League is over, and if you're not playing AAU, it's just done.
Not- yeah.
And
Until
everybody
the
can't
next
play
time, City League starts.
Everybody can't play. Everybody can't
Everybody
play.
And
can't
it's the
play
help-
you,
I
and
I
they
bet
can't-
those
everybody
kids
can't
look forward
afford
to
it.
coming, bro.
And everybody
Like,
can't
they
afford
look
it.
forward.
So that's definitely something I will want to keep doing, just
Hopefully
to
you continue to
get
keep
people
going,
playing more basketball.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what they go home to every day.
Absolutely not.
You understand?
That's a fact.
So this is something they can look forward to.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So I want to thank our guests today for joining us. Give it up for Gerald Flat Top Robinson, Darnell DJ Pauldo. Shout out to our sponsor. We can't forget you guys, Camille Lebanese Restaurant. Thank you guys for sponsoring us. Located on 1489 Main Avenue, Clifton, New Jersey. You could come here. I like the lamb chops. They got a great chicken seafood salad here. They got great hookah. They got great customer service. A great place to be. Make sure you check them out. And make sure that you guys tune in and like and subscribe at our channel, Coach's POV. All right, that's episode 10. I'm signing off. Shamari Reed, Tony Murphy. To the next
That's
time.
the coach's point of view. That's 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 the coach's point of view.